Hey guys, Cruel Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Aaron.
And we're back with Superman and Lois.
Dang, I thought my Superman logo was here.
It's
just Pokemality.
Pokemality? You can find that right here on YouTube.
Oh, you can.
That's Pokemality.
Yes, pretty cool.
Pokemality.
Oh, no, wait. Feel your Pokemality. That's what it's supposed
Feel your Pokemality.
We skipped it.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Last time on Superman, we had probably some of the best drama in Superman history, in my opinion.
Oh, man.
We also took a poll on this.
The poll.
And the poll agrees.
They agree.
87% said yes, this is the best drama for live-action Superman.
I wonder what the others thought. What they were like, you know what? This part here. Superboy in Titans.
Well, there's a lot of comments that I actually do agree with, where someone like Haley says, wait, does Smallville count?
Does Smallville have some really good drama?
Yeah, I would say yes, it does count. I think that Tom Welling would say it doesn't, because he always said, I don't play Superman, I play Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I don't become Superman until the end.
Sure.
You know?
But did it have good drama?
Yeah, but
or did it have that kind of
It had.
It was also CW too, right?
It was. It was the beginning. It was the start. Without Smallville, you get nothing. You don't get Arrow. You don't get the Arrow.
Sure, but was it good? Especially looking back on it now.
I would say that it's way more consistent than something like The Flash.
Okay.
In that its peaks are super high. It has some low stuff here. Superman and Lois, 1, hasn't really gotten the low points, and 2, hasn't had the opportunity to because it's still only in halfway through season 3.
Sure.
Right? Smallville went for 10 years.
But so far, it hasn't had the valleys that a lot of other shows have had.
I mean, Smallville, certainly, there are things up there that I'm like, this is some of the best. But would I put it over the Lois cancer story and the way that Clark is having to deal with it?
You love Smallville.
I don't think so. I love Smallville. Always hang on to Smallville.
He's biased.
I am biased.
He said no, but that doesn't mean you're wrong.
Billy B says, I have to say yes, but Smallville still holds a special place in my heart. Yeah, really, I think Smallville is the only thing people are bringing up.
So no one's being like, the movies, no Reeves, no Henry, no...
I'm looking.
No, what other live action Superman can we have? Titans? No, I don't know if Titans had live action Superman. They had Superboy.
Kyle Corbin says, I honestly think that this show, along with Daredevil, contains some of the most emotionally mature storylines in any comic book media, period.
Daredevil has some good stuff.
Mark Riaz says, Superman the movie will always be top for me, but Superman and Lois is extremely close second. So they put Superman the movie, the first one, at the top.
With Christopher Reeves? Mm-hmm. Isn't that the one where he drills into the ground by spinning really fast?
Is it that one?
Is that the first one?
I haven't watched all of them in a while.
With the train, but the wall will push you back into the train.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember parts of it.
Yeah. I always went Superman 2 as my favorite, but specifically the Donner cut.
Is that because they rewind time? Isn't that too? Isn't that the one we flies around the Earth?
I think that's the first one.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Man, it's so silly.
I'm sure I'm wrong, but yeah.
I don't remember.
That's how science works.
1 and
Prove us wrong.
2 had Zod.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think the first one was because that was Lex Luthor wanted to drop the Andreas Fault or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And send the San Andreas Fault.
Yeah.
And send to California.
And they have all
and
new
he
coastline.
had new coastline and stuff.
Yeah.
So that sounds like one. Yeah. Which is silly.
All right, so there was an overwhelming majority of people that are agreeing. A lot of people putting Smallville though right up there.
It's 20% of people are like Smallville.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people that agree that this is the best still are saying I don't know if I can edge out Smallville, but it's close, so they're just kind of agreeing generally. But I mean, like I said, Smallville was in your homes for 10 years. Not only is that something that has the opportunity to go the distance or fumble the ball, but it also is something that a lot of people grew up with. So you're going to have that added nostalgia as well, right?
Sure.
So looking back on things, well, this is a little more recent, and you can say, well, there's recency bias, but then you can say, well, there's also the rose-colored glasses of Smallville too. And I don't think anybody holds up Smallville as much as I do, but even I can be like, look, there's some stuff in there where it's like, well, that wasn't great.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. But I certainly enjoyed it more consistently than some of the other shows that we watched.
Yeah. Okay. I've only seen, I want to say 2 or 3 seasons of Smallville.
Yeah. But not as consistently as this show. I think this show has been consistent throughout.
Yeah, I think so too. I think its highs and its lows aren't as far apart.
Yeah.
And it stays much more consistent than the other shows we've watched.
It doesn't seem to sacrifice characters to lift others up. I feel like Smallville did that a lot, where it was like, well, this person's not going to get a whole lot of focus or sincerity and the stuff we have them go through. Where I feel like everybody's kind of getting like an equal amount, right? Like all the families, all the characters, even the side characters.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything,
Well, Lana's family has been focused on a good bit and given a lot of time. Where it's like this is Superman and Lois, but we also have them as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, last time we focused on some characters like Onomatopoeia and the reveal, and it got me. I love when a show can get me.
I figured it out before.
You weren't got.
I didn't get.
Can't get Aaron.
I'm like, I know who it is now.
Yep.
But it was during that episode that I figured it out. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say later. And then they showed it. I'm like, I can say now.
Gotcha.
So, but no, I'm excited to see what they do with that character and with Lois and like this power base for these people that are trying to like survive cancer.
Yeah.
It seems to be what they're doing. So far, we have 3 people that have had cancer and now have superpowers.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Aww.
Well, I think it just keeps breaking its record each time we start. It's like, how long until I get emotional?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, how about 15 seconds?
It used to be like, all right, there's a bad guy, and then we gotta get him now.
Next episode's like, you like this puppy? No!
Hey, which dress do you like better?
Look.
The floral one.
Dad, come on, pick one.
That's how you did.
I know this is important to you, so, I'll clean up, and then I'll head out. And I think you look beautiful in the blue.
Maybe I'll ask Sarah.
Why'd you ask? If you weren't gonna take your advice.
Let me guess, more town hall construction delays?
I mean, this contractor thinks I'll back down just because I'm a woman.
What? That best of 3 so?
Pickup order?
Don't blame her. She's just in the middle.
Here you go, hon. Egg white omelet, order of sausage and biscuits, extra gravy.
That's Dad's
Okay,
order.
well,
Only one man in this town gets extra gravy.
What?
we know you already have.
Chrissy.
So I asked about getting you a new anti-nausea prescription. Picked up some different fortifying drinks to try, and here is some fresh ice.
Oh, lucky. He's such a caring husband. Clark's the best.
My husband's the same way.
How so? Just... They'd do anything for me.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Mannheim's her husband.
What?
I didn't get that. I thought you were just concerned for someone.
Okay.
You didn't say that.
How are your boys handling things? As well as can be expected.
Deleted sound. Just happened to turn his head.
What do you mean? He could just turn his head.
I think it'd be cool if he turned his head.
Wait, so he's never even brought Mom to see you?
There was no need. I discussed her condition with him, and your father agreed.
Okay, but that's not the same as doing a diagnostic test to make sure. What? No, dude, I'm not leaving until I get some answers. Why can't you help our mom?
Because I don't believe she has the proper makeup to withstand Kryptonian procedures.
But you don't believe, or you two just assumed because she's human?
The risk is too great.
It's worth a shot.
My technology could kill her.
She might die anyway. Enough.
What are you two doing here?
Trying to save Mom. Everyone's worried.
They wanted to know if there was Kryptonian.
What about you? Do you have any photos of your family? Actually, I don't have my phone with me. Maybe next time.
Bullshit. Who doesn't have their phone with them?
But her,
At all times.
you're in a hospital. That's the time they say
You're
turn it
gonna
off.
go somewhere that you're gonna sit for a long time and not have your phone?
Are you gonna read a book?
Bullshit meter.
You can't read a book.
Nope.
Can't read a book. Eric doesn't like books.
But your initial treatment was right after he invested in Hobbs Bay Medical Center. It seems like you must have crossed paths then.
Yeah, it's a big hospital. Yeah, I don't really remember.
What about at Little Aces? I saw his photo on the wall there. It looks like he's a regular.
What are you implying?
That I'm a journalist at heart, pick up on these things.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Are you interrogating me?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
On the other lady, aren't you his wife?
I'm gonna go sit over there and close my eyes. Please don't follow me. Okay.
And now the super open woman is suddenly defensive.
Where's her phone? What's that thing in her hand, Eric?
Oh, no.
What's wrong with that woman?
No, she definitely has it in her pocket. With the book, loses charge.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
She walked away from me with her chemo card to be as far away as possible because I am a horrible human being.
Lois.
What am I doing? She's my friend and I'm questioning her like she's a part of some conspiracy.
She is! Trust your gut.
I don't trust my instincts anymore, especially as a reporter.
Lois, you've been right this whole time.
Yep.
Bruno is hiding something, and you're so close to figuring it out.
She didn't ask the other lady about Bruno. You know? She knows.
Help from whom?
Superman.
The other investigative journalists in the family.
Showing up here caught me by surprise.
Well, I just wanted to give you a chance to tell the world your story.
Journalist Clark.
Clark, what if he kills you? That'd be my words. Like someone tries to shoot Clark Kent while he's trying to do journalism. Now what are you gonna do?
Well.
Oh, I guess it missed. That's what they always do, right? Oh man! Luckily it missed me.
Yeah.
Jeez. Just take a breath. Why do you keep defending them? Look, I hate it too, but they're just trying not to make us freak out. I'm not freaking out.
Man, Kent Farm always has that sun shining through.
What are you doing? Mom keeps notes on everything. Dude, none of this is helping.
He's spiraling.
Really?
And there's tons of people that have that without having cancer.
Everybody should have one.
Did she text "Get it, girl"? Is that what it said?
You got a key already? No, your dad loaned it to me for today. He's not back yet? I know where you're at right now. I know how it feels to see your dad date. Sarah, it sucks. But that doesn't give you the right to go full-on mean girl. Your dad is stuck at the station for the rest of the day. Movie's off. So, I don't know, take her wherever you
Go to the movies.
Hold up.
What movie are they gonna see?
The one with the cabin slasher thing.
I heard it's supposed to be funny.
Cabin Slasher.
Probably not
Yeah, I
that
get
one.
it. Yeah. Real hoot and holler.
Woohoo!
Firm grip. You got that.
Matteo.
She can go with the blue.
Wow. You look stunning.
Shut your mouth.
Thanks. I hope you're hungry.
How long do you think he'll keep a cool dad attitude?
I mean, he's known for having a hammer and beating people.
It was more for Bug.
Bug?
Not Bug. That's what I called her when she was little.
For some reason, still does.
That's adorable. Nothing to laugh at.
It's okay with you making the trek back and forth to Metropolis alone?
Yeah. I mean, they trust me.
It's not that far.
Tell me more about
It's
your
fine, though.
parents.
Dad,
Tell me about this party where you met Natalie.
I think he's a cool dad right now.
just because my dad's short-circuiting for whatever reason doesn't make that your problem.
Bug.
Don't call me that. We're going to the movie. Thanks for ruining lunch.
Thank you for the lunch. It was really delicious.
He's pretty nice though. I don't think he's in this for like some kind of ulterior
A
motive.
little too nut.
That's what cancer friends are for. I don't want to just be cancer friends, though. I want to be friends.
What does that even mean? I mean, do we need like matching bracelets?
No, I was thinking necklaces.
We should get bracelets.
I have a watch. Where's your watch?
No.
We had a watch. They almost look the same. And you took it off. See? Get you a bracelet now.
promise no more angles. Okay?
Do you think Pia will tell her in the future?
No, I don't know.
Bringing my A-game charm offensive.
What does that even mean?
It means that I'm gonna kill your dad with kindness and possibly gifts.
Gifts.
I realize that I am the perfect guy to date his daughter.
You are perfect.
A little too perfect.
What is with you today?
Are you gonna buy tickets or what?
Well, I thought there were people in front of us.
Oh, sorry. Hey, sorry, y'all.
Go!
I'm just kind of crazy about this girl right here.
You're the guy. No one cares. Get the tickets and get out of the way.
Actually, that won't be necessary. Oh my god, it's like a candy shop in here.
Yeah, well, why pay movie theater prices for what you can just see?
Junior mints.
Love Junior Mints.
Ooh, these
No, they're
gummies
not
look
Junior
good.
Mints,
Oh my
those
god,
are
no, those aren't for sharing.
Oh, you keep your edibles in there, huh?
Sarah?
Oh my god, you're a stoner.
No, this is so inappropriate. Please don't tell your dad about this.
Oh my god, my dad's dating a stoner. Where'd you even get those?
Okay.
No, Sarah. Go to Coachella.
Wait, what bands did you see?
Now she has a connection.
Yeah,
She wants
right.
to talk.
But jeopardizing even one life is...
How could you even look me in the eye and say you'd do anything for Lois?
Because I would.
Then admit that I'm right. This is your wife we're talking about.
I'm not sure that it is.
Whose wife we talking?
Personal for you.
Don't go making assumptions.
No, it's why you bought the hospital while you're experimenting on criminals. Someone you care about is sick.
The show didn't think that you knew that. Thank God. I feel like a fucking idiot whenever you looked at me with judgment.
The last episode, that's what the implication was of the
No,
restaurant.
now they're
and the
making it a
things
whole
and the
damn...
Pia.
Journalistic Clark has to go find out. Aha!
They didn't know. They gotta figure it out too. No, I think you were a fool. Look at that's a poll.
Lois, plus we could make it a celebration. Just stop.
I can't be friends with you because I'm a bad guy. Duh.
I can't do this anymore.
She is gonna tell her.
This wasn't supposed to happen. Everything I told you was real about me, about how I was feeling. I just didn't tell you about him. Everything he's done, it's all been for me.
I think that's enough.
No, it's okay. I'm glad she knows.
I don't understand why.
My whole life, people have judged me, thinking the worst. I just didn't want them thinking the same way about Pia.
Looks like my treatment's finished.
Now you know the truth. Do what you want with it.
Bruno, you have my heart. Forever and always.
Forever and always.
All right, let's ring this damn bell. Say it with me, people. Screw cancer! Screw cancer!
Cancer!
At the most, you had your head out the window.
Yeah, no, I know.
What are you gonna do?
Just talk about.
Okay. No, you're right. Cool, Dad.
Sir, I was just...
Sir, I was...
Need to have a talk.
Don't worry. Can't do anything to him in public.
Oh my god, what was it? Yes, you know. I mean, look at
Oh no. She can't be upset about that. Didn't she say to treat her better?
It worked though.
Feelings are complicated. Everybody's seen everybody from behind.
Yeah, right.
She raised me to respect women if I were to ever disrespect Nat, I'd be more afraid of her than you.
Mom sounds like a good woman.
Yeah, she's great. Maybe you can meet her one day.
Take it one step at a time, man.
Yes, sir.
You jumped to his relation with Mannheim with less evidence than the wife-husband thing.
Mom, what is this?
Whoa, you guys went through your mom's things?
You lied to us about how bad this is.
Boys.
These are end-of-life documents, Mom. This is your will. You wrote goodbye letters, Mom. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah,
Jonathan, look, you have to...
What, Dad? Have hope? Just believe that somehow everything is gonna work out fine. You know, maybe that works for you as a Kryptonian, but us humans like Mom and me, we can't. Because hope didn't stop your dad from having a heart attack. It didn't stop your mom from having a stroke, and the last time that I checked, doesn't cure cancer.
It's crazy he thinks himself as a pure human, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This actor's killing it, by the way. He's doing so
They're
well.
all doing really good.
But like Britt coming to this family dynamic as like a new
Yeah,
actor, you know?
Yeah. Not even thinking like a new character, someone that was already being played, you know?
This kind of cancer is really bad.
Okay, then why not use technology from the fortress?
Yeah, there might be something there that can help you.
Because if we use it to help your mom, it wouldn't be fair to keep it from anyone else. And sharing Kryptonian technology here, the risk to the greater good is just far too high.
What if the chemo's not enough?
I love you both so much. More than anything in the world.
If there was anything that you could do, anything in the world, right now, what would it be?
Nachos and cheese.
That's what you choose?
That's what I do.
We'd go shoot off fireworks.
What?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I found an old box of fireworks that your dad left behind, and I'd go and shoot them off and run away before the sheriff comes.
That wasn't the reaction I was expecting.
Yeah. Go to the kitchen, get the lighter. I'll grab the fireworks.
Right now.
Yay!
Yay! Yippee!
You know, I was thinking about what you said earlier about being human like your mom.
I didn't mean anything by that.
I know, but I understand where it's coming from. But I want you to remember that you are just as much Kryptonian as your brother. And he's just as human as you are.
It's probably Walnuts and Gator.
No. No, that's Lana. And Sarah.
He gets here.
You know, his neighbor, they're like, that damn mayor!
Right.
Trying to sleep.
It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Such a great effect having it in his glasses.
Yeah.
They work for me, not for you. And I think you all need a reminder exactly who's in charge here. You don't understand. I understand everything.
She had her powers before. Jeez. Blood going out of them? Jeez.
Forever and always. Now. Peia, do it now.
Sound like a chainsaw.
Might have been. See the blood driven on the wall?
It's gonna be okay. I promise.
Mom? Mom, are you here?
Here comes Matteo.
Aha!
We're in the dining room.
Hey, Mom. Hey,
Mom's
Dad.
a great lady.
Is everything okay?
They kept him in the dark.
Mom, I'm telling you, she is the one.
The one?
The one.
Please.
Dad, you'll see. I was actually wanting to invite Natalie over to Little Oasis. You two have to meet her.
Another fantastic episode.
Maybe they didn't punch anybody.
Don't need to. That's how good it is.
Like, there was no Superman in this episode.
Not at
you
all.
know?
And it was not missed for me.
It's just, it's done well enough where, like you could have these same kind of stories without the Superman aspect. And that's exactly what they kind of did.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's also encompassing a Superman story, but with like real life themes, which is something that I feel like sometimes I don't get in Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was one of the things why I always liked Spider-Man more, because I felt like he was relatable.
Sure.
With things that he was going through and all that. Whereas, like, well, this is just an alien superhero, invulnerable to everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's less relatability to what he had to go through, and this seems much more relatable.
Yeah, I mean, the genesis of most of the DC heroes are ideals to strive for, not necessarily people to relate to, you know?
Sure.
Like the idea of gods versus just people that have powers is kind of like the idea. But yeah, we definitely need these stories as well.
Sure. I think it's just something with, like, Captain America, Spider-Man and stuff, where, like, you're seeing these people still do these things that they have to do, even within the struggles of what they're going through, you know?
Sure.
So, I like that. But I'm guessing the 86ers? Is that who they were?
Huh?
Were those the 86ers that Peia?
I assume so, yeah.
He had mentioned about getting the 86ers or something like that, and whatnot. I'm like, 86ers, who are them? And then they killed off all those people there, and I'm like, were those the 86ers? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it does confirm that Peia had her powers before her cancer treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Suppose so.
genesis to those.
Yeah, because he doesn't have his hospital now, and it seems like he pushed that because of her cancer.
Yeah.
So
no, the big fundamental difference between the two between Clark and Mannheim seemed to be that Mannheim will do everything. Clark we saw this episode, will have a limit. He's not going to use Kryptonian tech.
Well, sure. The idea, I guess it's here with Mannheim. Once he gets his experimental treatment to work and it saves Peia, would he then release it for everyone else, or is he using it just for Peia, you know?
I think the genesis of it is to use it just for Peia, but I imagine, it would be a really good investment to be able to cure cancer.
Sure.
If you can cure cancer, you are going to be the richest person in the world.
Also, is it too dangerous to let out, right? Like, his idea was like, well, we could maybe use Kryptonian science to stop cancer.
Yeah.
But that technology going out to everyone is probably more dangerous than it being able to cure cancer for people.
Yeah, I like that
I don't know
part.
if Mannheim has the same idea.
I like
of
that
what
second
is.
part more than I like the first part. You know, I totally get why that's there. Like, you know, well, it's not fair that Lois would have access to this where no one else would. In my head, I'm going like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. In my heart, having gone through this stuff, it's like there's nothing I wouldn't do to stop this person from being in pain.
So that's the Mannheim side of it, right?
I know.
Where he's like, wouldn't you do anything you could?
Yes.
And Clark's like, no.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Clark in that moment, for me, is an ideal to strive for.
Sure.
Because having gone through that, I can't imagine there's not anything I would have done, you know?
Sure.
Even go against my own principle. So I like that even in a very, very dramatic story like this, Superman is still an ideal to strive for.
Sure.
You know?
Like, how many people's lives could be lost if Kryptonian technology got out and got turned into weapons, as opposed to being used for medical stuff? Because every time there's new tech, it gets turned into weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Usually before, it gets used as, like, actual helpful stuff.
Weapons or porn? It applies to one or the other, and that's it. That's all human achievement.
And then it goes to something else, right?
Yeah, and then it gets democratized to everything else. Yes.
So you didn't think about the Mannheim wife thing at all? Like,
not at all.
At the end of last time,
treated it like a whole damn revelation in the episode. So I don't think you were meant to.
His like talking to P at the end of last episode. I'm like, there's
thought he was just being
connections here. It's not just like he didn't do this for Henry, you know? Like,
sure, but like
there's
I thought he was just like, she's one of the people that I'm trying to save. I didn't know it was a whole big connection. I think I see it now. I definitely see why. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Which is why I was full of shame at first. Being like, oh, fuck, I didn't even think about that. That makes perfect sense. But the show was like, made it a thing. I'm like, haha, I shouldn't feel shame.
I don't know that you should.
I shouldn't feel shame?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the show...
You think I should be shamed?
I don't think the show...
For not seeing something that the show treated as a revelation.
Where did the show treat it like a revelation? What do you mean?
Well, the whole thing when Lois was like, I can't believe I didn't see that.
For an audience revelation, or
Yes.
you mean for a character revelation? So I feel like there were character revelations, but I never had an audience revelation of like, oh my god, she's the wife. I was like,
well, could
okay,
you figure out shit?
There it is.
Way quicker than everybody else. We watched episode Legend Tomorrow, a character hit an alarm clock, and you're like, Groundhog Day!
And it was.
And it was. So don't be giving me this stuff. I will feel no shame in your presence. Okay?
Well, some of them are just really wrong, though, too.
I know. High risk, high reward. And guess what? You've been rewarded. But no, I didn't see it. I didn't think that at all. Until, obviously this episode. Before the revelation, yes. But, okay.
When was it you thought about it? Whenever she was, like, leaving Lois after talking about Bruno?
When she said my husband would do anything for me, and he just said I would do anything for her. But, okay. That makes sense. They're using the same line.
Sure, yeah.
Look, Aaron, you're a professional TV watcher.
Look,
I'm not going to catch everything. You're not going to catch everything. Together, we become the person that a writer is annoyed by figuring out their shit before they're ready to reveal.
That's why, like, it's hard to do things and have twists with, like, the forum hive mind kind of idea, right? Because you're like, well, someone's going to think of it at some point.
Sure.
And back in the day, you would have someone think of it, but they're not going to call everybody they know and tell them everything. But now you have the internet.
Yeah.
People type on a forum. Everyone's seen it on TikTok or Twitter or whatever. And
well, there's also just, like, the meta of how things are done, too, right? Like, you'd ask me, like, well, you think Matteo's bad or, like, something going on? And the only reason I think that is because, like, in the meta, when you're developing your season-long story, you go, okay, why do we have this scene?
Sure.
This is going to develop, and this is going to cross over, and this is going to do this.
Sure.
Like, Matteo has to be closer related than just a guy they met at a party in Metropolis that happens to show up with flower. There's got to be something.
But I was just like...
But it was different.
There's less evidence of that.
No, there is.
Latched on he's his son than the wife thing. And I'm like, man, I felt like there was more there. But I get what you mean. Yeah. So it was just funny. I liked, all the other scenes too. I wasn't like, oh, man, now we're going back to this or anything. Like the stuff with like Lana and Chrissy and all that kind of stuff, and John Henry trying to deal with like letting Nat. Like, I don't think Matteo has gone here to be like, I'm going to find out information.
No.
I think he actually randomly met her at a party.
Yes.
And he really liked this girl.
Yeah.
So.
No, my suspicions were raised just because of the economic of storytelling. I'm like, why are we doing this? He's bad, That was the wrong part.
That's why, like, whenever he drove here to meet her, like, that's what Sarah said, and he was willing to do it. I think he just really has a crush on this girl. Not like, Dad said to get into, John Henry's lab and take his hammer, or something.
Yeah, it's coming to the right destination with the wrong conclusion.
Sure, yeah. But John Henry, like, going through what he was, like, I thought was good. I liked him coming in. I like the line where it's like, what happened to Cool Dad? He never showed up.
I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was good.
So, no, it was. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed like Sarah and Chrissy. Like, I understand Sarah having issues. I imagine it would be tough to, like, your parents have split, and it's been a month or longer. I don't know exactly how long.
And she's a teenager too.
I'll say 3 months. Yeah. I don't know how long it's been.
Sure.
I know it's at least been 1 month since Lois started chemo.
It's been a season.
I guess, yeah, sure.
I mean, it's been fall.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that.
So, I can see that being a problem and her blaming someone. And it's like, do you blame your dad? Do you blame Chrissy? Like, she already kind of blamed her mom at one point, like an episode or two ago.
Yeah.
So, I get that, but I'm glad that she kind of attempted to, like, just talk with her and get to know her a little bit and not just, like, blame her as, like, a hookup.
Yeah.
But also the age difference, like her being a little younger than her parents, may help with some of the connection stuff a little bit too. Like her being like, you have stoner gummies.
Sure, right. What bands did you see at Coachella?
Yeah, right.
No, it was fun. Those are sweet scenes. I like what they did with it. I'm actually liking Sarah's storylines way more than I was last season.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but my favorite part, I really liked the talking to Jonathan and like reassuring him, like, hey, like I think like the show can sometimes push him to the sideline just because he's not powered and
he's
a
not
successor
the big
of Superman.
reporter.
Yeah. But Jonathan, having these feelings and feeling left out, not just in storylines or anything, but like in the actual family dynamic of like, hey, we need to go through these things together. You guys can't go through things and then expect us to have those, conclusions and stuff without actually going through themselves, But to arrive at you are just as Kryptonian and just as human as your brother, I think was a really good spot. I really love that.
Yeah, I did too. And you'd brought up too during the thing, but like the actor portraying Jonathan,
good.
I think he's doing a really good job, especially considering that it's like, I think it's different. Like Matteo is new to the show, right? Mm-hmm. And I can be like, oh, he's doing a really good job with this. But Jonathan's actor has had to come in and take a role who already someone else was playing, and then try to like make it his own or keep it like this is Jonathan and not just be like now he's just some different brother, So you got to try to like meld those together, and I think he's doing a pretty good job of like he doesn't seem, he's not like annoying that he feels this way.
Yeah,
I feel like there's some justification in the way he feels.
Yeah,
and it's not like I could see it going. Lots of times they like overdo it, right? It's like, oh well, this character feels sad about this, so they're just gonna go real hard in this direction.
Sure,
but I think it's not like it's been his one note. Mm-hmm. He's trying to find himself. I like the fire department stuff that they've been dealing with and whatnot. But then this one here where it's like, we need to do something, and he's looking through everything. And I could see like finding the last will being like, this is what you do when you're gonna die, Like, but
no, like looking back on it, I had two thoughts. The first one being like, selfishly, I do wish we didn't have the break in continuity of actors. So that I could see the last actor doing scenes of this caliber.
Sure.
I think that he would do very well, and I would want to see that. So automatically, this guy coming in already kind of has that going against him in my mind, But I think he rose above it, and I just believed, like I stopped thinking about who's playing Jonathan and just started thinking about Jonathan himself, which is, I think, the highest praise I can give.
Sure.
So, and not for nothing, but the family and Jordan need to be just as committed in those scenes as well to make it work, and they were. So, yeah. Great stuff.
Well, even Clark's usually very collected, and he'll raise his voice and get angry a little bit about like, don't you dare think that I don't care for her as much as you do. Like we both care.
Sure.
There's just certain lines that they don't want to cross, and like the sons are talking the same way. Like Jonathan's like, we should do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we can't. And here's why.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where they didn't talk about it, so they felt left out and everything. And
it's like the work had been done for Lois and Clark, but it hadn't been done for,
Sure.
You got to show your work. That's why math teachers like, no, show me how you got there. Don't just, I did it. You can't do that.
Sure. And like the conversation about the hope thing, I think was really good, considering like this is a symbol for hope, and it's like, well, you can have hope all you want, but is that going to help with this or this or this or this?
Yeah.
Like I like Jonathan's little talk there. So
yeah,
it was all real good.
Yeah. No, hope is the sunlight you need to grow, but it can't just. You still have to actually grow. You can't just rely on it. Yeah, fantastic. I want to see what other people were saying about this episode of Superman and Lois. All right, 1-1 with human limbs. We just talked about this. I just wanted to get the question out there. Now that we have had him as a focus for some episodes, how do you feel about the new Jonathan? I personally love him this episode and think he did a great job putting his real-life experience into his performance. His mom, in real life, is suffering with cancer.
Oh.
Okay, well, there's the elevation that I saw.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's one of those things where
guy.
It can help. I remember her name, Lois's actress, did the same thing, right, with the loss of the baby.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it's pulling from, like, real-life pain, and it makes it feel so real because there's that real element in there.
Yeah. No, I get you. There's something in his performance that had just the right amount of anger. It wasn't too little. It wasn't too much.
Sure.
It was the right amount of anger where... I don't know. I just felt it. It was really good. It was a good human performance. I loved it. Daniel B., do you guys think there should have been a fight scene this week?
They had the one at the end when they killed the 86ers.
Is that a fight scene?
I mean...
One-sided, I guess.
Yeah.
Looks like a full-grown man, like, stomping on kittens. Is that a fight scene?
How many kittens?
I mean, not more than
like 100?
50.
Like 100 kittens?
That he would
I could
kill.
take out 100 kittens. I'm sure they
Not
could.
100.
Yeah, 100 kittens.
How old are they?
Kittens, I don't know.
They're over 8 weeks?
They can walk.
Well, they can walk when they're born. Kinda.
Their eyes are open.
Okay. Melted Asagio says, now that we've gotten some humanization for Bruno Mannheim, how do you feel about his character? And how do you think his story arc is resolved? Violently or subdued reflection about the things he's done?
I wonder if they will bring in any other kind of like villain to kind of be bigger than Mannheim.
A lot of Lex mentions this episode.
There have been a lot of Lex mentions throughout the season too, I think. I did like Lois being like, I've been chasing this man for all the terrible things he's done for so long, and now I just can't not see him as like a caring husband.
Yeah.
You know, like they have that the connection with cancer and her and Peia and all that kind of stuff, and she sees the bell ringing and him being sad and vulnerable, and not just this like, I'm gonna kill people and take over the city and, you know, be that kind of guy.
Sure. He did still, at the very least, we know he strapped a bomb to an innocent woman to keep somebody away from him. A little farther than I would probably go. You know? So, like, we still have that. I wouldn't say the character's, like, redeemed in my eyes or anything, but what he is going to be, or at least what I expect, is a mirror image to Clark. How far will you go? This guy obviously is going farther than he should. Clark might have to wrestle with, okay, if he's doing that, am I not going far enough? Like, how bad does it need to get before Clark is like, I am going to use Kryptonian tech? Sure. You know?
No, I could see that being a thing.
What can I do within my power?
Like, is there a point where he draws a line and he's like, I will do it?
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the other almost bigger half of Superman's abilities is not using them or being able to control using them. Like, you know, a lot of the Smallville stuff, like you brought up earlier, like he got horny and he got eyes. He's got to deal with that or he's going to hurt people, you know? And the temptation's always going to be there.
Sure. The worst thing, I mean, one of the things too, if Peia dies, you could see Mannheim possibly go in a different route and be more the bad guy with nothing maybe holding him back. There's
what
also
what if he learns that Clark or Superman had this tech that could have saved her?
Sure, yeah. But there's just also a line too where I'm trying to think of how it would be where Mannheim's in this point where he would do anything to save his wife if she's dying, like not like, well, she has cancer so she's dying, but like it is like she's gonna die today. Yeah. Right? It's like the last time. So instead of like being with her or having this last moment, he has her in the lab doing everything he can to save her, and then she dies anyway. It's like you've also lost that last moment you could have had. Yep. Because you wouldn't. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Now I don't want to say give up necessarily, but like you could have had a moment, and instead you sacrificed that, and you couldn't save her. You know. Yeah. And I could see that kind of driving him as well.
I agree. Ross Mack says, "Aha! Eric's theory about Matteo being Bruno's son was right." Did you come up with that? Or I
don't know. That's probably you.
Question: do you think Matteo legit just likes Natalie and not anything shady, Eric? I think he legit just likes her.
Why just Eric?
Well, it was my theory. No, because it rips a hole in my theory, which I'm like, no, I don't trust him. I can trust him. I don't trust his parents necessarily, you know?
Sure. No, I think that he has I don't think he has anything evil about that. He seems like a really nice kid.
He does.
Which means you trust him even less, right? He's too nice.
I mean, I certainly thought everything that happened in this episode was a little more less red flaggy to me. Just tracking her down, you know, not getting her consented to show up and stuff. Like, that was the thing that was like, hey, come on. Don't do that. That's weird.
We got our friends' consent.
That's the type of thing that you have to be good looking to pull off. You can't be bad looking.
I get what you mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. There's a threshold of how you have to, like, look. Where as long as you cross that mark, it's not creepy.
Exactly.
If you showed up like Quasimodo probably couldn't pull it off.
I don't know if he could do it.
You know what I mean?
He's got to have sanctuary. He can't be on any turf.
Yeah. But he couldn't just like, hey, I drove 4 hours to come to this house that I looked up and found out that you lived at.
Sure.
And then she's gonna be like, get away, creep.
Yeah,
you know?
I get you.
Like that's what's gonna happen. I mean, they also had a moment, right? It wasn't
They
like
did.
it was a catfishing or Facebook stalking and then it just showed up. There was like
I said,
something that occurred, and
I get you. Like, no, now that we have this revelation that we're like, oh, okay, this is what's going on, I'm able to like pull back on my like, why is it happening versus just kind of knowing like something is happening with this kid somewhere. It's gonna progress in some way that's gonna be part of the story, not necessarily judging the character.
Sure.
Logan writes,
I don't know if we would meet the threshold.
Huh?
If we just showed up in another city, I don't know if we would meet the threshold.
No,
you know,
well, I just wouldn't do that.
Because you don't meet the threshold.
No, I need to know that someone wants me there because I don't want people popping into my life. Thus, I will be like, hey, I'm thinking about coming. Can I? Would say that first.
He said it's Sarah.
Ask permission.
He said it's Sarah.
That's not the same.
He said, give me her number.
I don't go to someone's friend.
And she said no.
To ask for those things.
Come here
I go
yourself.
to them. It's called respect. Oh, sorry. Logan Wright says, there has been a lot of emphasis this episode on how Jonathan doesn't have powers like his brother. Do you think Jonathan will get powers? At this point, do you even want him to?
I don't think he needs it. I think it's interesting to have a character not with powers. Maybe he works more towards like the John Henry kind of idea if he is heroizing himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's gotta, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen at a very significant moment. Like, we kind of had Jonathan in the first episode or whatever, like, how did he save him so quickly or something like that? We had like a moment, didn't we? Where we were thinking like, maybe he does have something. Like when the things were falling down.
The beams or the pipes or whatever they were? I mean, yeah. I thought Jordan saved him.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we've like flirted with it in the first episode, and then we haven't really addressed like, will that happen?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, maybe it's gonna be, you know, so many people love Smallville. Maybe it'd be like a Smallville thing. Like, that ain't happening until the end of the show. So I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. But I certainly don't need it to happen. If it did, I would be excited. Logan Britton says, do you guys think that Clark will work with Bruno and try to save their wives? Because with Bruno questioning how far Clark would go, and Clark not wanting more people to get hurt, I think he might volunteer to help Bruno.
You mean like, here, take my blood? Or what?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not.
Like, giving his blood also could have, that's like giving Kryptonian science in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there could be bad repercussions. They've made heroes that could damage and hurt people and kill people and steal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, all they've done at this point is just they're certain of his motivation. Right before it was like, oh, well, all your other projects have a profit, but this one doesn't. All right, what are you doing that's going to turn a profit? I mean, that still might happen, but they're not as scared of him now. They see him as more of a person rather than a villain. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at this point.
I do like that Clark got to that conclusion, though. Mm-hmm. Like, everything you've done has made a profit. This hasn't made a profit, and you're okay with that. Like, why are you okay with that? It's more personal. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't personal, you would want a profit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Hayden Collings, this is the last Q&A. Well, turns out Matteo Mannheim just rolls off the tongue too well. Do you think Kryptonian technology will be a last-minute resort to cure Lois's cancer, or will it never come into play? I understand Clark's point in it being unfair to not share them with all.
I mean, there could also be a thing with Lois beating cancer on her own. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not because Clark saved her. It's not because of his Kryptonian blood or science or anything. It's everything that everyone else goes through, and she just was able to beat it, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe there could be something good within that, you know? Mm-hmm. But I could also see it going another way, involving either Mannheim's projects or something with Kryptonians or whatnot. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that this whole show is predicated on his family, and I think this episode or this season could be how far would Clark go for his family. I can see it happening. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's the last Q&A. We got a poll for this episode. Was it apparent for last episode that those two were husband and wife?
Like, did you think they were husband and wife?
Yeah.
Or
how many people knew?
Or at least together? I at least thought they were together. Even if they weren't husband and wife. Like, I
she
thought
talked
like
about
there was
her
a
husband
relationship
in that episode,
thing there.
Right?
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah.
At the restaurant, right? Okay, so yeah. So I felt like, because just the last scene of her being like, Peia, he was like, Peia. And I was like, you can do this, Henry.
I was just a good friend, you know? I'm good friends with people. What? I'm good friends with you.
You don't do that
We're
to
not
me.
married.
You're not like Aaron.
You don't hear it. I do it silently myself. Let us know. Patreon.com/blindwave. Did you know?
Guys, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this reaction to Superman and Lois. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's episode. And also, if there's any breaks in the future, you subscribe, you won't miss when we get the next reactions up. Also, full length and polls over at patreon.com/blindwave. So make sure you go there. And oh yeah, there's that Pokemality place. For Pokemon.